Hello, welcome back to my channel where today I want to try and make a cosplay in 24 hours. I've got my computer out here because I haven't actually picked it yet. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start my timer and then I'm going to pick my cosplay just to make it a little bit harder. So if it takes 7 hours to pick the cosplay, it's going to be a very hard task. Can I not set a timer on my computer? Okay, I guess I'm just going to have to go off the time. It is currently 2:36. I'm going to have to finish at 2:36 tomorrow afternoon with a full cosplay made, makeup on, and then I'm allowed to take pictures and film some extra stuff after that. But I have to have all the cosplay completed by 2:36 tomorrow. Good thing I don't have lectures tomorrow morning. What should we start with? I've got a blonde wig. Let's just do blonde. Oh, I can't spell blonde. Blonde cartoon characters. Do I recognise any of these? Oh, star. I don't really have the stuff. Peach's Peach is always a good one, but that cosplay was very difficult. Seems too complicated. Rapunzel. I need to pick a cosplay that I have the stuff to do as well because all the shops are closed and I don't have time to order anything in 24 hours. Briar's come up twice. Do like Briar. Alice in Wonderland. Do I have any blue? No, I don't have any blue. Oh, this is gonna be harder than I thought. Actually, let's do Disney characters. Ooh, Tinkerbell. Oh, no, I don't have anything green. Ooh, Maid Marian. I do have pink. Wait, should I do pink? Angel's a good shout. Wait, Angel's a really good shout. Actually, I just bought myself a bodysuit. It's kind of like a really light pink that I was gonna wear underneath see-through clothing because it kind of looks like my skin tone. Wait, I'll go get it. It looks like this. Isn't this the perfect angel colour? And then I could do some sort of sleeve thing. I think we're gonna do angel. Much easier than I thought. I thought this was gonna take 10 years. And I think I have pink fabric. I hope I have pink fabric. And then I'll need foam for the ears. Let's check. I have a headband. I could use that to attach the ears to. Foam so I can make ears. That's good. I have pink fabric. How much do I have? Oh, I have quite a lot actually. I feel like a skirt, some sleeves, make some ears, put a bodysuit on. I think we might have cosplay. Oh, okay, I'm excited now. Now I just have to design it and hopefully it won't take too long. I think the main bit I need to get done is the ears. I think if I have the ears, it will look like her no matter what. But let's get started. Please ignore how terrible my drawing is here. But basically, I want to do a very simple kind of cheerleader style outfit. And then I wanted to make sure I got her arm shape in there somewhere. So for the design, I put in bishop sleeves. I didn't actually end up doing this just because the fabric didn't allow it. But you'll see how the sleeves ended up in due time. Then the first thing I did was I actually made the ears. I started off by making a base just because I didn't really know what I was doing. It took a little bit of manoeuvring, but I got it eventually. So that's good. I then cut them out of foam. I was actually really lucky and I managed to get it out of one piece of foam, even though these ears look quite big. From experience, I knew that sewing foam is actually the best way of doing this sort of project because I am so impatient with glue. I just can't sit and wait for it to dry. So I sewed it and they look really good. They also hold together really well and hopefully they won't rip. And so that I can paint them later on, I sprayed them with a layer of sealant. I actually did 3 layers on each side over the course of the day, but I didn't film it each time because obviously it's very repetitive. I then moved on to making the pattern for my circle skirt. I was originally going to do a full circle skirt, but it would not fit. I could not get it to fit at all on the very small amount of fabric that I had. So I ended up doing a 3/4 skirt instead. And it worked out really well. I'm kind of glad I did it this way because you'll see the skirt later on, but it would have been too big as a full circle skirt. And because the fabric is so stiff, it would have also sat really strangely on me. So this is much, much better. And as you can see, I also cut everything out, which was actually very therapeutic going along all of those curved lines. I would recommend it. However, I still had barely any fabric, so I got out my dungarees, I made my Melody cosplay and decided to rip them up. This way I had just about enough fabric to do the whole cosplay. I was struggling towards the end, but we did it. I then made the pattern for my sleeves. I just looked this up on the internet. I just googled sleeve pattern and this was the most simple ones that came up, so that's what I did. And I laid them down on the fabric just to see if I'd have enough. And then I moved on to the top. So as you can see, I didn't actually film painting the front of my bodysuit. I thought I was recording, but I wasn't, so I'm sorry about that. But it was very interesting anyway, and you will see it at the end. Next, I went back to my skirt and sewed it all together. This was actually a really long process. I thought it'd be quicker than it was, especially sewing the hem. It's actually a much bigger skirt than I was expecting. And then for the waistband, I actually used the waistband of my short, the My Melody shorts that I ripped up at the beginning. Just having those pieces that were ready-made just made this process so much more relaxing. So much quicker. Very much appreciated it. I then sewed in some buttons because I wanted the waist to be quite tight and I didn't want that ruching effect you get from elastic, so I thought this would be the best way. And then I very quickly tried it on just to make sure it fit, and it actually fit really well and it spun nicely, which is a nice bonus. Back to the ears, I painted all the dark pink areas dark pink. This took 3 layers in the end, which is actually quite a long process. I watched Futurama the whole time and I didn't get anything else done. Probably should have got much more done the first day, honestly, because I felt like I was rushing all through the second day. Oh, and I also did the antennae things. I just used the bottom of the shorts for this. So I started off the second day by sewing together all my little random pieces to make pieces big enough to fit my patterns. I then used them to cut all of my sleeve patterns, which are blurry apparently, and then I sewed my fabric. I feel like this voiceover is going to be very boring. I'm sorry about that. I've come across an issue. I don't know how I didn't measure this properly, but it will not close. To fix my issue, I just made some little triangles. I didn't have enough fabric to properly fix this issue, but the triangles don't look that bad, and you can't really see them in the end, so I'm not that mad about it. I think they look fine. I then did the other sleeve because I have 2 arms, I guess. I then put the sleeve on just to check the length, and it's at this point where I decided not to do bishop sleeves and go with these sleeves instead, which I actually prefer, so I'm glad the fabric limited me in this way. I then had the awful idea to try and hand sew these into place. It looked really bad. I ripped them apart very quickly, and then I went straight to the sewing machine and sewed them in place along the inside instead, and it worked so much better. I don't know why I ever thought that I was going to be able to hand sew it and make it look nice at the same time. I then hemmed the bottom of the sleeves, and I did later hem the shoulder as well. I just didn't film it for some reason, but I did it right after I filmed those little zoom in and out shots before I moved on to the ears, which is my next thing. As you can see, the next step for the ears was painting the light pink on the inside. This only took 1 coat. I think my white paint is much thicker than my pink paint. Then I moved on to sorting out the shoulder. I feel like I've said then I moved on and next I did so many times today. I'm recording all this voiceover in one sitting and it's very tiring. I don't know why. But anyway, I did the shoulder, it went wrong, there was like a point in it that I couldn't get rid of, so I did it again and I did a curved stitch this time and it worked much better and actually got the result I needed. And then obviously I did the other side as I've done with everything so far. After that I did my last bit of painting on the ears, which is the little purple tips. I think the purple's a little bit too bright, but oh well, it's there now. I could always change it later on, I guess. I could finally then start putting my ears together. I started off by sewing on the antennae, just so my ears had time to fully dry before I started handling them again. And then I sewed the ears on. I think they look really cute. The ears do look quite big. They look better when the whole thing is put together though. Oh, and I painted over the white thread just because on the ears it looked really obvious, and the thread was actually pulling the ears slightly, so I thought this would reinforce it and hopefully stop it from ripping. Next I sewed the collar for my jacket, just your bog standard basic one made of 2 strips of fabric, and then I moved on to trying to do the base bit. I don't really know what to call that bit. It's the bit that attaches the sleeves to the collar. I was originally going to use this pointed shape, but I didn't like it. Tried cutting it, still didn't like it, so I ended up using 2 rectangular shapes and just attaching them on either side of the collar. It also made the sewing process much more simple because I only had to attach 2 things rather than 4 things. And then I attached the sleeves, and I'm just realising how weird this jacket looks laid out on the floor like that. It looks really odd, it doesn't look like a jacket. It doesn't make any sense. And I did some buttons, same sort of buttons that I used for the skirt, just to hold it all together. And with that, everything was done, and I was ready to move on to makeup. Hello, so I started my makeup and apparently I wasn't filming. I would usually restart, but I do not have time. I have half an hour exactly to get this all done. So for the makeup, I was just kind of focusing on getting the colouring correct and then getting the eyes really round. Because obviously the black on her eyes are actually her eyeballs, so they need to be nice and round to look like eyes. And then I wanted to make sure I had the nose right and the mouth right. It's actually a very simple makeup look. Took me almost exactly half an hour, so I was very happy with it. But now that that's done, we can finally see the result. That's my cosplay all finished. I really hope you like it. I think it looks really cool. I think I look a bit scary. I think the makeup's a little bit too harsh for the character, and then the outfit's a little bit too e-girl to go with the makeup, but I do really like it. I think it's really cool. This shrug thing is a little bit odd. I don't know whether it's an actual look or it's just my weird taste. Tell me in the comments down below, do you actually like this shrug or is it slightly weird? If I did it again, I'd do the makeup differently, and my ears need a little bit of reinforcing because as you see they kind of flop down like that, whereas I kind of wanted them more like up like that. So I might have to put a wire through them or something just to stop them from flopping, but I don't have any wire. And I'm out of time, so I guess we won't be doing that today. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. This was so much fun to do. I really enjoyed it. I really want to do it again. So if you have any character ideas, please leave them down in the comments and I will try and do this again. Maybe even in less time, but I'm not much of a sewer. This is about as complicated as we get in this short amount of time. So it might be a bit of a challenge if it was much shorter. Like if I did it in 12, no, it wouldn't have got done at all. There would be nothing. At the end of the first day, I think I had the skirt done and that was it. And that it's not an outfit. But if you did enjoy this video, please give it a like and then subscribe, as I do try and post a video every single week, and I'd love to see you again here on my channel. But until then, bye!
Bring the action.
When you hear this in the club, you're gonna turn the shit up. You're gonna turn the shit up.